Yeah, hi. So now we have another book by Dr. Hari Parameshwar, and I just want to know, what are your initial reactions after reading the book?
Okay, I've been going through some of his readings, and this is sort of, for to me, it looks like a very good blend of corporate kind of advice to people in management with a lot of mystical touch and a lot of insight into your psychic conscience, which is sort of very rare. Normally, books only touch upon one of those.
Yeah.
Right, this is one combination. It's a nice combination, I should say. And I'm sure it's going to have a lot of insights for people because it's something like you start thinking about your own self. That is something this book does, and it's very interesting.
It makes you reflect.
Yeah,
right?
sure. It makes you reflect and also try to make you understand, dissect your personality rather.
Yeah.
Like you can see that many shades are there in your personality, which normally you overlook.
True.
Like you don't bother too much. You just say, okay, I'm a very social person or I'm a cool person. But there are something more to it. Like for a person, I like a lot of mind reading, psychology. I'm basically a mental health person. So for me, it was quite interesting because the way it was dealt with, it's more into your inner self, which is very interesting. And how to use that for your best potential, for an institutional's potential. That is something very nice way of taking it. I like
As a mental health professional, like the idea of the book is that there is a bit of all three of them in us. There's a bit of Satya, there's a bit of Tom, there's a bit of Rajas in us. So in that sense, do you think the book has done justice in like conveying that simple message across, that all three people exist in us in different shades?
Exactly. See, basically, you cannot actually categorize people and say you're the purest, sattvic, or you're rajasic or tamasic. Definitely, there is a combination. But one thing I have to accept is there is something dominant in us. I think that's where the book is hinting on.
Yeah.
So try to get that potential out of you. And also, when you look at the characters, it's not something wrong if you're not sattvic. Okay, we always get a feeling, okay, sattvic means the scoring is high. Fine, but then if there is a rajas or a tamas with you, there might be something positive in them which you can take. So the aspects of what you are, it's like maybe in different proportions. But then what is the best potential can be taken even from somebody who's tamasic.
Yeah, exactly.
He may be lazy, but he may have some potential to help you out. So it's something like that. That kind of reflection is very good. Otherwise, what happens? Everybody thinks of a very ideal kind of a person. Okay, you have to be very righteous. You have to be really good. Always be good throughout. It's not like that. It doesn't mean that way. You have a quality of a combination, a blend of different qualities. And what is dominant in you, that is what the book is portraying. And also, it doesn't stop there. It says a combination of the three characters will definitely work. Okay, it doesn't say rule out the tamasic. No, it never said. And you can see even in his life, there are so many things. Like in the end chapter, you can see like he talks about the four pillars. There you can really understand that these three pillars sort of, one is for physical, one is for emotional. Physical, again, you can think it's on the base of infrastructure where money power is there. You need money, intellectual and emotions, plus the fourth pillar. I don't want to let it out now.
Of course,
Yeah.
nobody wants to let that out.
Yeah. So it's really good. That way it is, I think for anybody, for a corporate manager or somebody who's into philosophy or psychology or understanding behavior, I think it's a nice book because it gives you a lot of insights.
True. And there's also a sort of underlying spiritual journey of finding a spiritual leader, someone to take you down that spiritual path. So do you have any personal experiences on that front?
Yeah, actually, even I always think that when you're in the 20s or 30s, okay, that's my perception. You can differ from me. Like we are more not into this. We are more into different kinds of focus. We want to study, we want to earn. But there is a stage that comes in your life. You start reflecting on your own experiences, and then you start thinking, yes, I am sort of in a spiritual path. You never know it, but your life's experience put you to such a kind of a path, and you start looking for books like this or people like this, and everything somebody a spiritual head talks, you really feel like listening. You start sort of rethinking on all your experiences and reflecting. Probably that's what in olden days they called wisdom, right? So probably like we may not be so wise as those people, but at least we are trying to get into a path. A spiritual enlightening is basically trying to reflect on yourself and getting the best out of you. That's how I take it. So somebody is helping you, yes, it's very good. And one person helping all the three is something really good that rarely happens. But that's nice. Nice imagination, I should say. It's something new, different kind of an imagination.
Right. Thank you so much.